Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We just ended up getting a brand new community update from Battlefield 6 and the devs here, talking about a bunch of pretty drastic, pretty significant updates coming up here in the near future. This is a community update regarding Season 2 reactions, which I'm very curious to see what they say about that, and Battle Royale solo testing on the horizon as well. So we got a pretty lengthy blog to go through and detail their new community update post. Season 2 recently released. It's been great seeing so many of you jump into Contaminated and take to the skies with a little bird. We've been closely reading your feedback from the first days of the season and want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the initial reactions we've seen and talk about what's next for the next phase and beyond. So the Season 2 initial reactions, we've seen a lot of positive reactions to Contaminated. I do think this map is like the one standout for the season. I really enjoy it. It seems like I've seen a lot of positive comments about it as well. It's just the rest of the season that players aren't too thrilled with. Many of you have called out the sandbox variety, the flanking routes, and vehicle interplay as some of the best experiences you've had so far. This feedback is incredibly encouraging. Combat flow is crucial to every part of every map in Battlefield 6, and Contaminated is no exception. Based on the feedback, we expanded the available airspace to give pilots more room to maneuver while keeping ground combat readable and balanced. So far, we are seeing great reactions to this adjustment. We'll continue to monitor how engagements evolve so we can apply those learnings to future maps. Should be good there. Looking beyond, larger scale experiences remain an important part of expanding Battlefield 6. We are continuing to test Gold Mode Railway, of course. Our focus is not just scale, but also ensuring it delivers strong vehicle depth and consistent pacing. Battlefield Labs allows us to fine-tune those elements. The time leading up to Season 2 allowed us to prioritize improvements to the quality of our updates, with additional effort focused on strengthening the overall experience. We are iterating our processes along with the game to deliver the best content possible as we move forward. When you log in and play on day one of a season, we want the experience to feel polished, cohesive, and respectful of how you choose to play, whether that's a specific map mode or portal experience. So additional topics they're monitoring right now: movement updates. Movement impacts every layer of gameplay, and updates here need to be deliberate and measured. With other gameplay systems evolving alongside it, we want to evaluate how the overall combat experience settles before making further changes. Like we just talked about in some of our tweet recaps, some of the devs mentioned this. I believe it was Florian not too long ago talked about how they're currently monitoring the changes they made with Season 2 to like airstrafe and things like that, just to see what the community's long-term reaction is to it, and then they'll make adjustments as they see fit. With progression here, Season 2 introduced improvements, but this topic remains an active and ongoing discussion internally. We're closely tracking how the Season 2 changes are landing and gathering data on how players engage with different paths. Our goal is for the time you invest, regardless of mode or play style, to feel rewarding and fair. We'll share more details in a later update. I really hope this is referencing like weapon leveling, basically. That XP earn rate is still atrocious. It really feels like it's a chore to go through and level up weapons, especially if you're going for like level 30, 35, 40 to get all the attachments. It's just such a commitment, and casual players aren't going to end up doing that for the vast majority of weapons in the game. So for a retention's sake, I would hope that they're strongly evaluating this. A couple of portal updates, actually, two different sections for this. Previously, we intentionally delayed adding new hardware to the SDK to allow for additional time to stabilize things. This included delaying the addition of the Little Bird, which will be added to the SDK in a future update with that. We received ports of latency and rubber banding in some player-made experiences, and they're showing that if there's more vehicles, more than 40 vehicles, it could be extremely laggy. This includes vehicles that are spawns but not actively in use, so they're going to look into that some more. We'll also be sharing a dedicated blog soon that takes a deeper look at ongoing quality of life improvements, including hit registration, netcode, time to kill, visibility, and audio updates. Well, that's the blog we're waiting for then. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that for sure. Hopefully that is in the very near future. New ways to experience Battlefield, talking about LTMs, of course. With the VL7 Smoke LTM, we introduced a new layer of Battlefield control and area denial. As reactions could vary, we made sure that players had the option to experience it in dedicated playlists or play without it. Supporting different ways to play is important. Some of you leaned into that added chaos and others preferred the more raw experience. Not every LTM is meant to become permanent, as we've also talked about recently, but each one expands the toolbox. When an idea resonates strongly with the community, we have the flexibility to bring it back, iterate and evolve it, or integrate elements into the broader Battlefield experience. The freeze mechanic introduced during Winter Offensive is one example. While the event itself was time limited, the mechanic now lives on in Portal, allowing players to experiment with that. This evolution is part of how we want to keep Battlefield 6 innovative and fun. They also detail what's to come in Nightfall, although we know a good bit of this thanks to the blogs and the roadmap. And keep in mind, as we're going through all the update previews, all the details and whatnot here, if you guys enjoy the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to ensure you're always in the know for all things going on in Battlefield, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. So as far as what's to come in Nightfall, this shifts the way you play, how you communicate, how you read the battlefield with darkness on the maps. On top of that, there's a number of key improvements coming alongside this update. We'll be breaking down like all the content stuff to expect here in the coming days as well. But progression has been a consistent topic. We've continued monitoring data and reviewing your experiences. And if it's clear that certain parts of progression, particularly within weapon mastery, are taking too long to feel rewarding, with the next phase of this season, we're introducing targeted adjustments aimed at that. So that's great news there for sure. Weapon mastery progression will feel faster and more consistent. We've tuned the mastery XP curve to smooth out attachment unlock pacing, increased the rate at which sidearms rank up so they align more closely with primary weapons, and moved camo unlocks earlier on. These adjustments build on progression updates introduced at the start of the season. Love what I'm hearing there. Hopefully it plays well in actual execution. The ping system, we've heard your feedback on this. The ping system can feel cluttered and hard to read in intense moments. With the next update, we're addressing an issue where enemies spotted with the recon drone would not consistently remain marked for squad members. In some cases, the spot would briefly appear then disappear at times, so that's fixing that. Later in the season, we're planning broader refinements to the ping system focused on improving clarity, reducing visual noise, and strengthening squad readability. These updates are aimed at making communication faster and easier to interpret. We're continuing to evolve the system with improvements to how pings are prioritized, how responsive they feel, and how they're presented. This is a little bit surprising because I feel like we have an insane ping spam going on where a lot of players are like, it's just everyone's getting fried because everyone's pinged at all times. So they're going to make it easier to ping. That's an interesting choice there, in my opinion. REDSEC updates. Following extreme measures, we've continued reviewing sentiment around loot flow and late game survivability. The next phase of updates includes targeted resource adjustments alongside an underground expansion to the map. We already know about that as well, thanks to the blog and the roadmap. With the next update, this location will temporarily feature higher tier loot to spotlight the new POI. That'll be interesting. To access this area, look for the green smoke marking the entrances. Also in the next update, weapon caches previously accessible only through missions will become lootable containers once missions are disabled, so you can just get better gear late game. Airstrikes are also going to be rebalanced. Most will be found in the new POI or earned as mission rewards, with significantly reduced availability in standard containers. We also resolve an issue where anti-vehicle crates could spawn just with no loot. That's been going on basically since launch. Later in the season, we plan to introduce a new armor drop strike package to provide additional defense options in late game scenarios as well. These updates are intended to smooth late game pacing and reduce situations where players feel under-equipped in the final circles. We also have Battle Royale solo testing finally coming. So this will be in labs, of course, but it does mean Battle Royale solos, which should have been a thing at launch, quite frankly, or they should have pushed back the launch of REDSEC to make sure we had all squad sizes, honestly. This is finally going to be coming in the near future. You've been asking for a way to drop into solo Battle Royale, no squad mates, just you. During the weekend of March 6th to the 9th, we're introducing a Battle Royale solos test inside of labs. Labs can take different forms depending on what we're testing. For BR solos, having a lab section in the live games allows us to evaluate this experience at a scale with as many players as possible, so they want to gather feedback with this. How does Battle Royale solos differ from quads and duos? No squad revives or redeploy towers. Second chance is still there though at the start. Missions are adjusted for single player completion with tuned rewards. Class training path XP requirements have been adjusted as well. Vehicles including tanks are going to be enabled here just to understand how they're going to impact the gameplay here, but that's something they're going to be monitoring. UI elements and voiceover lines are still going to reference squads, so they're going to keep testing and building out that. Because this is live in game, there's no NDA for this test. Players are free to stream, share clips, and discuss their experience within this, so that's kind of cool as well. Then they do some community highlights and whatnot there. So quite a few pretty important things referenced here. updating weapon progression, battle royale solos. They recognize that the large maps, contaminated style maps are really what the community wants and are going to use that info for their future seasonal updates. So hopefully this is, you know, the start of things trending back upwards for Battlefield 6 instead of just being in a downward spiral for the last little bit here. That is going to wrap things up for this video though. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out to guarantee you're always in the know for everything going on in Battlefield. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.